Hello and welcome. This is a video I've been waiting to do. It won't be a very long video, but it definitely gets to the point. This is a grudge match between Musa and Maehwa. The goal is to settle the question once and for all. Which one is stronger and why? Or in what areas? We're going to be showing you player versus enemy and player versus player. Now, the way that you see them is not the way it's going to match up. We're going to do Musa versus Maehwa, then Blade Master versus Lotus, and then Warlord versus Primrose. Since after getting a look at all of these variations, that matchup seems to be perfect for this comparison. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in and show you what we got. Okay, let's go ahead and start out with the player versus enemy, and we lined up Musa versus Maehwa. Now you can obviously see that what I have highlighted in green is the skills that are better than the other opponent. So if you go from the top, they both have the same first skill, they both have the same second skill, but the third and the fourth goes to Musa, and then the fifth is the same, and then 6th, 7th, and 8th goes to Maehwa. So in this case, because they share the same skills, mostly I'm giving it to Maehwa. When it comes to fighting enemy creatures out there, she definitely has 3 more skills that are better just by 1 than Musa. So this is a way of showing you how the rest of the video is going to go. So now that you understand the basics, we'll go ahead and line up the next one, which will be the Blade Master versus Lotus. Here we go. Alright, here we go, and here is the Blade Master versus Lotus, and as you can see, the Blade Master definitely takes it on this one. So he has 8 skills that are better than the Lotus's skills. So the top one is definitely goes to Lotus with a big 300, well 200 and some lead, but overall the second skill is the same across the board, and the remaining 8 skills go to Blade Master. So in the long run, Blade Master definitely takes this one when you pair up these two for player versus enemy. So next we're gonna match up the Warlord versus Primrose and see who comes out on top for player versus enemy. Here we go. Okay, so up to this point it was a 1 versus 1 where one side took it, the other side took the other one, and here's the tiebreaker. And as you can clearly see, the winner goes to Primrose. She just destroys when it comes to player versus enemy. I mean, look at that. By 8 skills, 3 skills is what the Warlord can do, but they're lower damage percentage skills. I mean, when it comes to farming or just getting the job done with your guildmates, versus enemies, you want to bring Primrose out because she can definitely get the job done. So that concludes the player versus enemy side of it, and now the side I'm sure you're waiting to see is who takes the cake when it comes to player versus player. So I'll see you then. Here we go. As you can see, player versus player, Musa versus Maehwa. Well, yeah, pretty obvious. Musa destroys, has 12 more skills, better than Maehwa, and they both share the strongest skill, Evasive Strike. But when it comes to sheer damage output, Musa is gonna be the winner in this one. I mean, don't get me wrong, you can win with any character if you get really good on how to use them and to utilize the skills that hurt the most. So let's go ahead and move on to the next one, which is it is the Blade Master versus Lotus, and see how they do. As you can see, it looks like the Blade Master takes this round, but there's a lot to explain. First of all, if you look closely, you'll see that the Blade Master is stronger by 5 skills, but those are lower damage percentage skills. But also the shared skills that they have. The Evasive Strike, the second one, and the third one they share, and the fifth one they share. So that's 8 skills that the Blade Master has that is in his corner. However, Lotus, on the other hand, also shares the skills, which is 3 of them that they share, so that makes her top 5 a lot stronger than Blade Master. Because of number of skills, I gave this one to the Blade Master, but in terms of potential damage, Lotus would win out. So I'm not going to give it to Lotus, because if somebody plays the Blade Master very well, even though he's going to come out on top. So it's whether the Lotus can get that blooming divide off on its opponent or not. So here we go. We're going to end it out with the last one, the big question. Who wins versus Warlord or Primrose? And I'm looking forward to this one. See you there. And with 2 going over on Musa's side, it looks like Maehwa is going to take the cake for player versus player. As you can clearly see, she just dominates when it comes to Warlord versus Primrose. Now, if you're wondering, well, hey, you didn't match them up correctly. You know, it wasn't a fair fight. What about the Blade Master versus Primrose? Well, you can clearly go back in the video and look at Blade Master's percentage skills versus Primrose's, and you will see that Primrose just clearly walks all over when it comes to damage. So there you go. There you have it, my friends. This video, without a doubt, concludes that Primrose is very high damaging and well worth it. Warlord, now, I am excited about it, but in my experience of games, even competitive games, that rule of thumb still holds true. And that is, if you know your character and you know your opponent very well, and their strengths and weaknesses, then you more than likely are going to come out on top in Ramones versus or even Arena. So what I'm showing you is that Primrose has a lot of heavy hitting skills, but if you have a player that doesn't know what to do or how to use it, then, well, that's a shame. Then it's just in your favor. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, I wanted it to be very quick, very to the point, and very fun. So thank you once again for enjoying and watching this video, and you have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye now.